Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come sit by the fire. Well, so today, it's good to see you all again. I bet a lot of you are happy to see me. And yes, I have not forgotten about you. Maybe I have. Depends on what you've done. All right. So in recent time, we have come into this. A lot of stuff has happened. For one thing, I have finally gotten started on putting together my Logan Grimnar model. I'm just the infantry model right now, but I'm going to be working on the Storm Rider later on, especially since with the Beta Bolter rules and all that. But over the course of a few weeks, Games Workshop has been rolling things along, so kind of like for the Vigilus campaign. So what do we have right now? Well, right now it's going to be called, the next book is going to be called Vigilus, Vigilus Ablaze. And this is going to be the release of a new Abaddon the Despoiler model. And I took a look at it. It's amazing. The model looks astounding. And also we're going to be talking a little bit about the Shadow Spear box set. And and of course there have been leaks of everything, but you're not going to find photos here, so I'm just going to talk about them right now. I'll kind of talk about them right now. So, but let's kind of go into all this. So basically, the new Vanguard Space Marines. I actually like them. I actually like all the models, and a lot of people are like, why like this one unit? They hate some players. They hate the guns, and they're trying to like, this doesn't make sense. Well, and then you remember, at Games Workshop, it is said that the model creation department and the rules department do not talk. So basically, it's like the model creators, they like the rule of cool. How cool would this look? And then then they give the models to the rule department to try and put them together, to try and create rules to kind of represent what they're doing a little bit, without trying to make them overpowered. So, and which is actually kind of good. It leaves surprises, and it kind of helps people kind of, what am I going to create this army for? So, let's see. The Vanguard Space Marines are basically a Space Marine guerrilla force. They have to, not like King Kong, everybody, not like King Kong. And what happens is that they're designed to operate. It's actually, if you think about it, if you look at Age of Sigmar, they had the Vanguard chamber deployed, and the way they operate is the Vanguard chamber deploys is that they operate as far away from the main force, kind of, okay, we're gonna harass the enemy, we're gonna run them down and harass them and attack them attack them in the forests and flank and destroy their supply routes, their communications, all that. So what happens is, so this is kind of the same function as the Vanguard Space Marines. So you have the captain. So in the box, which is actually interesting. There's gonna be a captain, a librarian, a lieutenant. Now these are all Primaris models. the captain, the captain, the librarian, the lieutenant, and there are 3 model types. There are 3 main units. One is called the infiltrators, the eliminators, and the suppressors. I feel I'm just wondering when the space wolves are going to be kind of trying to invent new names for these guys, and it's kind of like, what's going to happen? So the way the infiltrate, so like there was the what was it? The eliminators are the guys that take out, are basically equipped with a special sniper rifle and also special ammunition that's capable of killing specific characters and certain units, kind of whittling them down. While the infiltrators are the core troop unit. They are, and also what's actually pretty cool about them is that with infiltrators they can heal up they have an embedded apothecary, which is called an infiltrator helix adept. He's basically the unit's combat medic and is capable of reviving a unit. Now with Space Wolves, I'm not sure how that's going to affect. I'm not sure how that's going to work. And there's actually someone who on Friday on Warhammer TV who's going to be talking about how the Space Wolves are going to be using how the Space Wolves use Vanguard Space Marines. But that's the infiltrator squad, and they have these cool marksman bolt carbines that are capable of automatically hitting and wounding. So basically, if you roll a 6, so basically an unmodified roll of a 6, means that the infiltrator's bolt gun will not just wound your opponent, will not just wound the model, it will not just hit the model, it will also wound them, which is actually pretty cool. And the the next one is called the suppressors. Now this is what a lot of people have been kind of having a little trouble with. The suppressors are actually an interesting unit. Suppressors are basically they have these they're kind of a cross between Reavers and Inceptors. So Reavers these guys have they have grav chutes. The suppressors have grav chutes, and what happens is that, and they also have these special little jump jets. They have special jump packs equipped with these grav chutes that allow them to allow them to fly, and also kind of make quick leaps across the battlefield. And they have these things called an accelerator autocannon. Now, an accelerator autocannon actually sounds pretty badass, right? When you think about it, and leaks have shown that this is a very cool weapon. That what happens is that when you shoot at you shoot the model, you shoot at a unit with these autocannons, and if one model is killed, that unit can't fire Overwatch. So that's actually pretty effective model. That's actually pretty effective, especially for Space Wolf units. If you have like a couple, it depends. It also kind of depends on the points. If you have, if the suppressors are not too expensive, suppressor squads are not too expensive, you could use them as a way of trying to get an assault in without risking any more of your models. Without risking okay, you have maybe 10 blood claws and you want to get them into a fight, and all of a sudden, and it's like you want to stop your opponent from firing Overwatch, and so it's like, and also and with that, and it would stop things like flamer units. That would mean that okay, so I'm going to shoot at you. Your models are taking cover because of the fusillade of autocannon rounds being shot at them, and then all of a sudden, boom! You got your a pack of blood claws running down your throat. And it's effective. I like it. And so that's what's in the box. So that's kind of what the Space Marine version of what's in the box. Now, like, they have, and I saw the new models for Chaos, and it's like they have the Greater Possess, they have the Venom Crawler, the Master of Possession, the Obliterators. And I have to say, when I saw the picture of the picture of the Obliterator model, I was impressed. Games Workshop is fun because after so many years, Black Legion Chaos Space Marines are finally getting a decent update to their model designs, especially Abaddon, who has for years been Finecast resin, and I hate Finecast so much. I want all Space Wolf characters to be out of the Finecast department because of how fragile and brittle they are. It's like, yeah, and also how I've broken I've broken 3 Finecast models so far, and it's annoying to me. One day, Games Workshop is going to be, because basically what's happened with the codexes right now so far is that they just created them to get all the rules and kind of get the fluff up to a certain level, so that, okay, we know what we're doing and we're going to kind of work our way through. Because what's happened so far is that on my shelf there is that they have, like, I've read Ashes of Prospero, and a lot has happened in Ashes of Prospero, and so we're trying to figure out what else is happening throughout the other chapters, because I'm not even sure if the Space Wolves are completely aware of the other chapter of Space Wolves Descendants that Gilliman created, the Wolf Spear. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, so I wanted to kind of talk about what's happening with Space Marines in general. So I'm reading that I've read that when it comes to like at tournaments, Space Marines are not doing so well. Mostly because, okay, it might be a model issue. Like, okay, we're not getting the right type of models in, or our model rules are not as powerful as we expect them to be. One thing is that with Space Wolves, you have to kind of be a little creative. It's like, okay, it's not. Sometimes I think it's not just the rules problem. I mean, sometimes you say, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send my entire force up. I'm going to move my entire force up, and people try. Okay, I'm copying this all-time best army that got some pretty good results at a local tournament or a national tournament. And what happens is that maybe it's not 100% effective. The rules can change every couple or more of months, maybe more. And what I keep thinking is that I had this idea some time ago. One thing is that I'm going to deploy a good screening unit. Like, okay, I have 2 units of Thunderwolf Cavalry, but they're being screened by a Rhino, by 2 Rhinos, and not 2 Rhinos, 1 Rhino and 2 Razorbacks. They will move in on the left flank, and then basically we'll basically cut apart the enemy's defenses in certain ways, and then push on. You have to, I keep thinking you have to find ways to bring down your opponent. You can try to play the long game, shoot them out, or you can try to get in close. You gotta outflank. You can't just. You have to utilize all their strengths as best you can. Outflanking your opponent it's a good thing to outflank your opponent, but like it's gonna get kind of lonely out there with just a single unit being outflanking an entire army without support. So it's like you gotta deploy what you can. Fast attack units are an excellent choice, especially bikers now, because they can shoot double, because they can shoot 4 inches, and no matter how far they are. I mean not 4 inches. They can shoot 4 shots no matter how far they are. And yeah, like say, okay, destroy the opponent's command and control abilities. Okay, I'm gonna fire sniper rifles, kill their leaders. I'm gonna fire my sniper rifles, my wolf scouts. They're gonna kill their leader, and I'm going to deploy a unit of wolf guard as an elimination force to kill not just kill a tank, but also to kill a specific character. Because what's going to happen is that character is going to cause problems where it's going to buff their army or debuff mine. So you have to know how to prioritize targets. And I think I've said this in a few videos before, that target priority is effective. You just have to know, how am I going to break through my opponent's line well enough to disgorge units that can kill that unit. So it's like, utilize heavy support units, utilize your snipers, utilize tanks, and I know this is just me. It's all up to you. Your imagination in strategy is the key to bringing down an opponent. Basically, like if you study your opponent, like many military strategists have done, you'll figure out how to counteract this opponent in your own way. You can't just depend on, okay, this rule is broken. Okay, this rule's not helping me, so my army is almost cannot really help. So I gotta find a way to overcome this obstacle. How am I going to, how it's not just, okay, you put your models on the board, and they're going to be, and all of a sudden they're just going to go at it. You have to, how am I going to get my force from point A to point B, and then create a side objective and take point C, and help squad A and help squad B secure point C. That's how you can really use it. This is a tactical war game. You have to create tactics. You can't always depend upon the rules to help you out. Cut your opponent force in two. Make sure that they can't support each other. Make sure they can barely support each other. Cut them into multiple pockets where you can surround them and crush them, or you could play the objectives and delay your opponent as best you can. That's how military thinking works. And it's like, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. It's just that you have to know you have to try and figure out, how is my army going to work? I have plan A, I have plan B, and for fun, plan C. Try to have fun. Try to have fun thinking about it. Your mind use the landscape of your imagination to make it all look so cool. And it's like, I deployed a unit of Wolfen with behind enemy lines, and now I'm going to shatter their command structure. I'll take out their most powerful tank. I'm not gonna take out a tank. I'm gonna take out their most powerful character, and then I'm going to overrun them. Then I'm gonna overrun their main force, cut a hole in the middle so that they can't punch, so that the rest of my force can move in. So anyway, that's all this information I've got. So I'll catch you all later. And I am actually getting my stuff done. I'll try and do a photo journal video of all the stuff that I'm working on. But have a good one.